Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Josiah Jensen. I go by Joe. This is my first time doing an introduction via webcam, so I'm just taking a whack at it and we'll see what happens here. I grew up in a small town, Independence, Iowa. It's about 45 minutes north of Cedar Rapids. Population's about 6,000, so if that gives you a feel for how small, just not a very big city at all. But I live in Cedar Rapids. I've been here about 14 years, I would say. I'm currently married. I have a 2-year-old daughter at home and another one on the way. My wife is due the end of November, so life is rapidly changing. Basically going from zone coverage to man, so trying to juggle that and work and school. We'll see what happens, but currently finishing up my undergrad at Mount Mercy. I plan to be done with school in February, and I will graduate with a marketing major as well as a secondary major in general business. I'm not sure yet if I'll pursue my master's degree, but I figured I would take this course just to dip my toes in and see what it's all about. As far as my career goes, I currently work at Windstream Communications. I've been there 15 years, and over the course of my career, we've basically changed names a few times. We've been acquired by a few different companies. So I started at McLeod USA. I'm sure some of you are familiar with the name. It was actually acquired by Paytech Communications and now Windstream Communications. Over the course of my career, I basically started in sales and transitioned. I spent the bulk of my career, my time there, as a project manager. And over the last 2 years, I changed positions and I now work for a sales operations department as a process analyst, where basically I conduct trainings for sales folks and our support folks, as well as do user acceptance testing for our system enhancements and new products that we roll out. So I'm kind of the tester, and then I'm also the trainer, just to make sure communication as well as our systems are all up to par. After I graduate, I'm not really sure what I want to do, if I want to stay within the company or look elsewhere. But at minimum, my degree will the hope is that it'll open some doors for me, open up some opportunities that I didn't have before. So the reason why I decided to participate in this class, I mentioned that I have a small background in training. So this seems like it's right up my alley as far as training and development. I am interested in learning more about how people learn, what motivates people, just to help me be more effective in not only a training role, but eventually I'd like to pursue some sort of leadership role. So I'm sure this information would carry over and be very valuable for me in any aspect of business. So I think that really covers it for the professional stuff. Just a few things about me. I'm sure at first glance you just notice a normal looking dude, clean cut office worker guy. But in my spare time, I actually play the drums in a punk rock band called No Coast Criminals. I started the band about 9 years ago with a couple of buddies. It wasn't meant to be anything serious by any means, but as things evolved, the band is, I guess, popularity has picked up a little bit. So much so to where we recorded our first professional album and released it earlier this year. I also went on tour with the band. We went all the way to Texas. We played, I think, 9 shows in a span of 10 days. We put 4,000 miles on the van full of dudes. It was a great time, great experience. Like I said, wasn't ever meant to be anything like that, but as we all know, life changes, and I've got a supporting wife who just let me go do it. So, props to her for sure. I will say, just being in a band has given me a lot of tools. I'm typically an introverted person, generally shy around new people, so being on stage and being in front of crowds really pushed me to be more comfortable in that kind of setting, which really has transitioned over and helps me, especially doing trainings or just being in front of people in a professional setting. I'm a lot more comfortable because of it, just because of my experience. So it's definitely helped me in a lot of different aspects of my life. But that's pretty much it for me. I'd like to say that not a lot of people can say that they've joined a band and toured. So, that's the one unique thing about me. And what marketing major would I be if I didn't plug the album? So here's a snapshot. If anyone is interested, you can find us on Facebook or just private message me, and I'd be happy to sell you a copy. Thanks for your time. Have a great time in class.